in the end, they ended up threatening us with, they said they would beat us up. And I did feel bad because I had put myself and I had put my friend in danger. But this is what it is about. And these are not isolated incidences. I'm sure women here can testify to the number of times that you get catcalled and that you just feel like grabbing someone by the throat and just, sending them to the maker. And when I talk about rape cases that have happened in Malawi, there are so many that we've become so desensitized. We read about it and we're just quiet. It's like, it has happened. Next. It has happened again. Next. There was a girl who was raped at Mponela police station by an officer who's supposed to protect her. And first of all, what was a 13-year-old girl doing in a cell? There's something wrong with our system. Just, I think 2 days ago, a little girl was raped by a Gabaza man. A little girl, right, who is mentally challenged, as I read the story. She was raped. And then we've heard so many stories of pastors raping female congregants that go and seek for their support. And here I want to address the church. The church, a place that is meant to bring hope, is complicit in the protection and enabling of abusers. Instead of marching against women's bodily autonomy and the right to sexual orientation, they should be more vigilant in standing up for women and other vulnerable groups. And also, just to mention a disclaimer, I'm a pastor's kid. And of course, when we talk about issues of violence against women, there's always that group of, what about men? What about men? That interestingly only speak up when women are speaking about violence. Well, listen, it's hard for me, and I think for other women, to take you seriously if the only time you care about male victims of violence is when women speak up about their own victimization. Mm-hmm. You don't care about male victims. Yeah. You care about preserving your ego, recentering men in the conversation and shutting women up. So you really should shut up or do better. There's a video going around of a fight that happened at Game Complex. It's a man and a woman, they're fighting. And I think there are people trying to tear them apart. And one man in particular, he helped in, pulling down the woman's top because it had gone up as she was trying to fight this man. And I would say she got in a couple of blows. But the media, social media, and different platforms, WhatsApp, they were awash with praises for this man. Some of them called him a god, a king, right?
A champion.
You would think a man pulling down a lady's top would be regarded as normal human behavior, right? Apparently it's not. It's something that we must clap hands for, and maybe he or she should make him a champion. Of course, men are accused of many, feminists are accused of many things in this country. I'm angry that this is not, being a good human being is not typical for men, it seems. Additionally, why should we take our eyes away from our daily work of fighting the patriarchy to put you on a pedestal for doing the bare minimum? All these are examples of why I'm angry. Take note, as I have repeatedly said, these are not isolated incidences. They are embedded in our society. They are socially accepted. Malawi, in its patriarchal state, as it stands now, is not a place where women can be empowered into. To empower ourselves, and for allies who are interested in helping with this empowerment, we must dismantle the patriarchal structure and do nothing else. And we will use all means necessary. And what better driver to keep propelling us forward than anger? And our tone will not be policed. Yes, tone policing is a thing. I would recommend Google again here, if you haven't heard of tone policing. My tone does not invalidate my message. We will not be told how to express our anger, how to deal with our oppression. And we definitely reserve the right not to negotiate in a nice tone with our oppressors. our rights are not up for negotiation. Asata Shaku wrote that people get used to anything. The less you think about your oppression, the more your tolerance for it grows. After a while, people just think about oppression as if it's a normal state of things. But to become free, you have to be acutely aware of being a slave. My anger, women's anger, feminist anger keeps us vigilant. It is the constant reminder I need, and the constant reminder that we need as a collective, that there's still work ahead and we will not rest. The Patriarchy Smashing Project continues. Thank you.
And that is why I am angry.
Great.
Thank you, Lusungu. That was what everybody needed to hear, I think. Yeah, that was what everybody needed to hear. I'm her manager. FYI. Just kidding. I'll take 2-3 quick questions because we're over time and I want people to go back home and, enjoy what is left of the Sunday, even though this is where it was happening. Remember, the last tweet should still go on. It's at EGISA_ORG. At EGISA_ORG. Any 2-3 comments for Lusungu before we wrap up? Very quick. Yeah. Oh, Singer. Hi.
Hi.
I didn't see you.
Yeah, mine is just a comment to say I'm glad she touched on the issue of culture and how feminism also aims to pretty much, it's not just for women, it's also for men. And I think a lot of people, and I won't just say men because there was a post that I saw, I think someone wrote about why she was no longer identifying as a feminist. She went to a funeral and then while she was working in the kitchen, she was feeling, the usual thing that we all feel like, why do we have to do all this work? And then she realized that the men were doing more work outside, bringing the tents or something. And then that made her realize that men also had this role to play. And for some reason that made her think, oh, I don't have to be angry about all this work I'm doing because men are also doing their part. And I think for me it was just that view that you gave, that feminism also aims to relieve men of that, the assumption that they have to be in a sort of, they have to be the strong ones basically, or they have to do certain things. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, so I think it's important that you touch on it.
Of course. That was beautiful, Singer. Is there any other comment? I think we'll close with you.
I just want to talk about the biggest takeaway for me is the first word that you said, that feminism is feared and not misunderstood. For me, basically, when I look back at all the work that as women we do, and when people feel unfit to call themselves feminists, because the usual argument is that we really don't understand the way feminism and the way how the umbrella, the way how it is. And for me, I want to get back to you, to relate to you, is that too often people fear the fire that is in us women, and at the same time, why people don't want to relate with feminism is because it's actually a word that came up with women, and for men and for people, they actually take a backward step just because most of the time they look at it, this is something that women started. So just because this is a women movement, that's one big step why actually people try to shine away from this. And it has been, you have just created out all the air about what it means to be a feminist, and I wish there were a lot of people to hear all about this, and so that people get to understand what it means to be a feminist. Yeah.
Absolutely. That was beautiful. Thank you very much, Lusungu. Because of time, I'll say you should done, but but please do follow the conversation. We're going to have a YouTube channel up and running soon. So each